If your lab results show normal, but your body is currently screaming at you, this is your video. Your symptoms aren't the enemy, okay? They're data into what's actually happening within your body. Symptoms start to show up long before any damage is shown in your lab tests and results. The body is whispering in this moment for you to recognize that things aren't in place, and most people tend to ignore these whispers. Lab measures the labs measure what's happening. Symptoms reflect how your body is coping and managing what imbalance is occurring within your body. So you can have normal numbers in the labs, but a dysfunctional pattern that is occurring within your body underneath the surface. And traditional Chinese medicine sees this imbalance as a spectrum, not a yes or no, not a you're ill, you're not ill, normal or abnormal test. It sees it as an imbalance between systems within your body that just need a little adjustment. So, pain, fatigue, mood changes, and even gut issues are usually a reflection of a functional dysfunction happening within the body, and not all the way to a point of a full blown out disease and condition in Western medicine. And when labs are normal but symptoms are real, this is your clue that the issue is regulation within the body, not a full blown pathology that needs surgery and or excessive intervention. With that being said, these are 4 hidden patterns in traditional Chinese medicine that labs will not show, but they are very real in people's body and people can feel them day to day and or in situations. Number 1 is liver qi stagnation. This creates stress. This shows up in your body as being overstressed, being irritable, having PMS like symptoms for women, having headaches, heat rising with headaches, rib side tightness, and it can occur from emotional suppression that causes these physical tension symptoms. Can also show up as IBS flares, migraines, neck and shoulder tension, and just constant sighing in the body. This is an often this is often the root of mysterious mood swings that just you can't get a grasp of. You don't know what's happening or why they're happening. Number 2 is spleen qi deficiency. You have fatigue after meals, bloating after meals, or bloating just constantly, have a foggy concentration, not fully there, cravings for sugar and simple carbs, feeling heavy in the body, unmotivated, or just puffy and swollen. People will say, why do I feel so tired even though nothing is wrong, or I slept full 8 hours? You're not waking up rested with this one either. Literally, the most common underlying pattern that I've seen in my clinical practice currently is kidney yin deficiency. I haven't met a single person who isn't kidney yin deficient. You're waking up tired but wired energy type of pattern, okay? You continuously wake up between the 2 to 4 a.m. window. You have very dry skin, dry eyes, dry throat. People that are in burnout or close to burnout after a long term of stress and competing responsibilities and juggling all life and everything else. People have this, okay? So labs are rarely going to detect early burnout, but traditional Chinese medicine can. With the rise of obesity in general, damp accumulation within the body is another pattern. So you're chronically congested, you have a sinus infection that just doesn't really go away, your weight that just won't budge, it feels like water weight kind of. You're bloated, you have cloudy thinking again, just feeling off or blah, sluggish even, or heavy in the body. Damp is the root of many modern symptoms in women like PCOS, chronic sinus issues, fatigue, heaviness, and there's not a single lab test that will ever say you have dampness. Now, comparing Western medicine to TCM a bit, Western tests look for disease endpoints, like markers that would show if they're imbalanced that a disease is there. TCM looks at the process of a disease forming. What was the underlying pattern in the body that created the right environment in the body for that disease to manifest? So you can be structurally fine, but functionally completely misaligned with underlying patterns within the body. Blood work can't measure your stress patterns, how your chi is flowing in your body, or subtle organ dysfunctions that are causing an imbalance amongst one another. Western labs also look at organs very individually, like you have specialized doctors in one field or another, and they rarely ever communicate together. But traditional Chinese medicine looks at networks and relationships within each of those organ systems and how they're supposed to connect and communicate with one another, or if they're miscommunicating. So, Western medicine asks, are you broken? Is this system broken? And traditional Chinese medicine asks, is this balanced or imbalanced? Normal labs does not mean optimal health, okay? Listen to your body. When your body is telling you something doesn't feel right, it most likely is still in that energetic pattern realm where things can be fixed through lifestyle changes. And traditional Chinese medicine fills the gaps between these symptoms and diagnosis and disease forming, which is why I love this as a preventative medicine. Diving into how stress dysregulates your entire body and your entire system, with the polyvagal theory and how traditional Chinese medicine kind of crosses over with all of this. So, sorry. um, Chronic stress locks the body into the fight or flight, sympathetic, go, go, go. We're fighting for our life. And traditional Chinese medicine sees this as your chi energy flow not being able to move properly in the way that it needs to. Vagus, you're in this mode, your vagus nerve shutdown, mirror spleen deficiency, and liver stagnation. You're not able to come back down into that parasympathetic mode and relaxing mode. You're always turned on. That was work, but back to where I was. So, stress weakens your digestion overall because your body is not worried about properly digesting food when it constantly thinks that you are escaping a lion or a mammoth or something dangerous. That's what the state of your body constantly is. So, your body isn't worrying about repairing and restoring and digesting properly. When this happens, when you have poor digestion, more damp heat environment starts accumulating in your body. You feel more fatigued, and that damp environment doesn't allow proper flow within your body. So you have more stagnation in the body too. Emotions literally change your pulse and your tongue. And that's how a registered acupuncturist, a licensed acupuncturist, can tell the difference of what imbalance is happening through your pulse and tongue. So if you're super anxious and you're telling me that you're not anxious, but you have a really red tip of your tongue, and or you have a swollen tongue, teeth marks on the side, there's little red dots on your tongue, that your body's telling me a whole different picture of the level of stress that you're under and that you might be in denial about. Yeah, I feel TCM's like kind of like a little superpower that you can be telling me one thing, but your body's not actually lying to me. Once I look for the patterns and the signs in your body, I can tell when you are in denial about the state of your health. Traditional Chinese medicine also accepts the fact that emotional strain and emotional chi affects your physical chi and your physical body and being. So when you don't feel safe, your body can't heal. And this is both polyvagal and traditional Chinese medicine truth. Symptoms like brain fog, digestive issues, or unrested sleep often trace back to a very dysregulated nervous system. And that's usually step one in trying to figure out and heal the body. And next, we're going to talk about how acupuncture realigns the imbalances that labs miss. How acupuncture plays into all of this is your acupuncture turns on your natural healing ability. through specific points on the meridian through a sequence of a treatment. It turns on your body's natural healing system. After each acupuncture session, your white blood cells increase and your body goes back into a restorative mode after releasing natural endorphins. That's why you feel so good. You have high white blood cell count, so it's your body's working at repairing and fighting a little bit more of like the imbalances that are occurring rather than fully being in like a fight or flight mode so that you're not in recovery at all. It's also restoring circulation to stagnated areas that either aren't getting enough blood flow or there's too much blood stagnating in an area, like your liver chi stagnation that I talked about earlier. It's regulating the stress response and increases the vagal tone in the body. So it's switching you from the turned on sympathetic mode into the parasympathetic mode of rest, digest, and like restore your body. By turning on your natural healing ability, it recalibrates your internal thermostat for sleep, energy, hormones, digestion, kind of like a reboot into your system or a reset within your system. It's moving stuck emotional energy that could be stagnant there for years on years, depending on whatever you went through, that's staying in your body and creating that imbalance happening within your body. It's also enhancing the communication between the organs that might be imbalanced. And TCM calls this harmonization. Acupuncture is shifts patterns before they become disease through energetic work, which is why it helps even when all the tests are normal, but you know and you can tell that something doesn't quite feel right in your body. I see this shift happen on the daily with patients with very dysregulated nervous systems, or they are severely burnt out or they're on the road to burnout and have come in for help. And we're able to stop them in their tracks of wherever the lifestyle and the pattern dysregulation that's led them to that point. We're able to stop that and reverse what's happening. And the best time is obviously having awareness of these patterns and the shifts that are happening within your body and gaining an awareness that something's not right. The earlier you go get help and get acupuncture done, the faster things kind of go back to normal and revert into balance and harmonization. If you wait for years on years after your body has been talking to you and whispering to you and you've been ignoring that call, it takes a lot longer for the patterns to stop and or reverse back to how they should be communicating, how your body should be in balance. And I think it's a little wild that sometimes people come in for just like a pain issue and they think it's just a muscular issue that's happening just somewhere in a distal limb. But often there's an internal balance that is perpetuating and creating environment in your body, even distally, for these types of pains and aches to continuously keep popping and or not get better. So when you see someone who is really good at deciphering these patterns of people's bodies and seeing these imbalances between organ systems, a lot of miracle type of moments can start happening for people as you fix the patterns and the imbalances that are occurring. And traditional Chinese medicine does a really good job at that. All to sum up and say, trust your body even when the tests don't validate what you're feeling. You are the expert of your lived experience and what you go through day to day and how you feel within your body. Your body signals long before a machine can detect the issue or a lab result can fully detect the problem, minus like a broken bone or something. Okay, like don't get all technical on me here. I see a lot of dismissed cases from Western medicine side because their lab results are normal, things are okay, and they don't feel okay within their body. We're learning now to rewire your body so that your body feels safe enough to create that change and balance within your body so it can heal properly. And noticing these symptoms and signs that pop up in your body, you're not being dramatic, you're not overacting, overreacting at all. Your nervous system is definitely trying to protect you and teach you something and show you something. Healing just requires you listening to your body and not suppressing what it is trying to tell you. And I find finding an acupuncturist is like finding a psychologist. You deserve a practitioner who takes your symptoms seriously and listens and creates a safe environment for you so that you can get the healing that is needed. And one of the things that I absolutely love about traditional Chinese medicine is that TCM gives meaning to symptoms that Western medicine often calls non-specific and dismisses. Anyways, I think I've yapped enough about this topic. I could go on for hours on this, okay? Um, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.